It's about that time. You're rocking with your boy Damo Unleash and Sky Black on the Nashville Caveman podcast. Stay tuned.
Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. I gotta turn up this function like I'm in the Lotus and punch it. All I'm gonna ask is stay in your lane and you won't be food for my luncheon. I'm coming up out of the dungeon, cooking up plans to make something from nothing. And since I secured the bag, it's time to do math, so I'ma keep hustling. I thought I had lost my way or something. I am not feeling what they say is busting. They keep us trapping this way, disgusting. If you so happen to catch me flexing, I could be killing the straps for day. But learning how to install some chromic crystals on the Escalade. Matching the unk that's on my sternum. I am for the sake of the people. Grabbing my Glock and pray to the Lord, cause not everybody tryna be peaceful. I still hope we set the stage for showing them how it's supposed to be. So those that's close to me won't have to ask, hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Let me explain what I'm talking about. Had a joint called down about it. Letting these loud mouths know how to move without sound. Best if we don't even shout out. Midwest, east, west, down south. Till we get even or even above. Till then we gon' opt out. Let's go. And educate on the backside. Folk that I act right and they won't backslide. Just put it together no matter the weather, my fella. So hey, if you dealing with vices in you and it's cutting you up like against you, put it on chill for real, or they gon' just use it against you. What you got in that bag? Quiet water.
Hey y'all, what is going on? Welcome to the Nashville Caveman podcast. I am one half of your host, Damon, for 2026. And what begins this gentleman who is like a brother, a really good friend of mine. So rolling out the red carpet, the floors.
Thank you, Mr. Damo.
I think he might. Okay.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
You good, Sky?
Huh? Yeah, I was gonna say, well, congratulations to everybody who made it to 2026. I just had a family member pass Friday, so it goes show you, boy, life is short. Tonight, 2026 will start the D-Bling radio show, and I hope everybody tunes in, join in. You know, we got new music tonight, and you know, Thursday, Elite One Radio. Don't forget January 31st, down in Huntington, Tennessee, ICW, me and T-Dog, the World Tag Team Champions, will be going against Low Life down there. So if you're down in the West Tennessee, Huntington area, please show up and come down there. And again, if any artist that wants me to play their music, just send it to me at sky.black@gmail.com. That is sky.black@gmail.com. And then we will play it on the radio show. And we'll stream it on offtoprecords.net. That is offtoprecords.net. Thank you.
Well, y'all, 2026, man, a lot.
Last week, we had a while.
Say that again.
I don't know. I'm talking to the fans on Instagram.
Okay. Oh, by the way, man, I'm connected right now to Bigo. I'm also connected to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Sky, you're connected to
Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
Okay. So if you guys are watching, if y'all could do us a huge favor, wherever you guys are, share the live. It does us a great deal of help. So if you can share the live and also chat with us, man. We love to interact with those in the chat. We got a lot to cover today. Usually, you know, it's tradition because me and Sky, we love music. So usually before we get into our topics, we like to play music today it was so much that has gone on, and y'all know we missed last week. So I wanted to get everything covered that I could get covered. I know first and foremost, I want to start off with and ask Sky, what did you think of, or what was your thoughts when you first heard of us going in, capturing the president of Venezuela and his wife?
Well, you know what? It's two things. It's the narrative that they tell you on the media, and then there's the real story. So this ain't the first time the United States has went in anybody's country by force to take whatever they're looking for. I'm just trying to figure out, usually when they do that, Saddam Hussein, Manuel Noriega, and now this guy, it's been others, something went wrong.
Gaddafi.
But yeah,
Gaddafi.
Everybody knew that the United States knew that Manuel Noriega was trafficking cocaine through his country. But from what I heard, he either wanted a more piece of the pie, or he didn't piss the United States off. So then they flipped on him and went and got him. If he's still alive, he's still down in Florida, y'all. He's in the federal penitentiary in Florida. Is he still alive?
No, he's in New York. No, he's in New York.
Oh, okay. Is he still alive?
Oh yeah, he alive.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm just waiting for the real story to come out. Is it because he was a dictator? Is it because they want oil? Are there other minerals over there? Hell, I heard that they wanted to use Venezuela as a trafficking place for the cocaine down in Colombia. So it's all type of stories. Who knows? All I know is the people of the country, how do they feel? Are they liberated? Are they upset? Do they have their freedom? Are they going to vote? Because if they vote and put in somebody, or is the United States going to come in and say, hey, we're going to actually put in somebody until we feel like y'all know what y'all doing. So that's all the things that's going through my mind, Damo.
Well, the vice president is now the president of it. So right. The United States wanted to stay out of that part of it. The part of it, it's some layers to this. Part of it is they kept warning him, if you keep sending them boats of drugs over here, because other countries was using Venezuela. Venezuela is pretty close to the United States, right? Mm-hmm. And they were using Venezuela to traffic drugs and get it across the ocean over here. And Trump and administration told him, they was like, man, you better put a stop to this or else. And I guess he called their bluff. He said, man, Trump, come get me. And man, they went in the middle of the night. You know, America is a scary place. When you could go into countries, you could go in their country, in the middle of the night and take people alive. And they took them off a military base. This dude was living on a military base when they went in and got him. That's badass. It made me wonder, what kind of technology do we have to do that and not have one injury, fatality, or nothing? Mm-hmm. We didn't have any fatalities. So it's a lot of questions. You're right.
Well, the CIA, that's their job. That's what they do in all these countries. And
no, this was Delta Force.
Yeah, I'm talking about before the Delta Force came. The CIA is what collects the information. And it could have been an embassy in Venezuela. And then, too, even if he was on an army base, I'm pretty sure those soldiers didn't want to mess with that Delta Force that was coming. They probably just surrendered and said, hey, he back in the back. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been either way. You know what I'm saying?
He back there hiding behind that closet.
Because even if I try to protect him, because think about it, Damo, even if I try to protect him, I'm going to die and y'all still going to capture him. So let me stay alive and you capture him. Then for me trying to die to protect him and you still going to capture him. That didn't make sense. So yeah, that's why I probably no gunshots, no fatalities, nobody injured. Yeah.
Well, I can tell y'all right now, the people that live, I got a friend that when I was doing So Driven and I was doing the advertising part for So Driven, I met a guy at one of the places where I was doing advertising at from Venezuela. And me and him are friends to this day. Y'all right now, they celebrated like Jesus came back. You hear me? They celebrated like Jesus came back. And I think this is the part where they don't educate us on world history. We don't really get world history in public schools. So, if you know about certain countries, you really have to do your own research. And I tell y'all some things that I know about Moderna, right? If you oppose, first of all, he forced himself to be president because he lost the election. And he told him, no, I'm the president, first and foremost. So Joe Biden, and even Joe Biden, they recognize him as an illegitimate president, first and foremost. Second of all, man, both parties, Democrat and Republican, had this guy on. He had a $50 million on his head. So Trump put $10 million on it. Biden came back and put 25 extra on it, and then Trump came back again and put another 15 on it. So this dude had a $50 million bounty on his head. And Trump just said, I'm just going to go get you. You know, for people who don't know about Moderna, some of the ways from stories I get, because TikTok, this is what YouTube and TikTok is great for. Man, the media won't tell you the truth, but people will. There were people talking about that when he stole the elections and all the, reporters that was reporting and giving, telling the story of what was really going on, he gave them immunity. He said, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a chance to lead the country. And they got on the plane, and you know what happened when they got on that plane?
What happened?
He threw them off. Y'all remember on Scarface how they did that dude? Well, all of a sudden you'd have seen them flying in the air. They did them reporters just like that. Threw them off of a moving plane. All of their political, opposers, they imprisoned. And they tortured them. And I'm talking about torture as far as like taking fingernails and toenails off, doing all kind of crazy stuff to them. And then telling them, you know what? We're going to let you, we're going to free you today. And then let them walk almost where they out. And then they say, no, we ain't letting you go free. Get your ass back in there. So they were doing them like that. They was physical and mentally torturing. So them folks over there was partying. But I'm going to show y'all the reaction of what they were doing over here and how it could backfire. Because they were talking about free this dude. And Venezuelans was like, free him? Because this dude is worse than Hitler. At least with Hitler, everything Hitler did, he was a nationalist. So he did everything for his countrymen. The people that he harmed was the people that he deemed to cause harm to his country. Jews and other people. This dude was doing this to his own countrymen to the tune of 8 million leaving the country. They lost a third of their population who wanted to get away, either through exile or people that was like, man, ain't no way I'm living through this. So he was worse. And I don't know if people understand, like, bread down there, it would be like paying $25 for bread. Are you paying $25, $30 for bread? I'm not. I guess I am if I'm hungry, but their inflation is through the roof.
Right. And see what you're saying? It's like watching a movie. So it kills me sometimes when the people here in the United States, well, I hate this country. I'm leaving this country. I don't like our president. Y'all see what that president is doing? And that's just mine, because there are some countries where they will kill you, take your head off and put it on a stake and leave it in the middle of the town for talking publicly about the leadership or anybody that's related to them. So I'm glad you're telling this story. So for all these people who have issues with the United States, you can go to these countries and see how these other people are living.
This is why I think that they need to bring the draft back. I am a strong advocate of bringing the draft back, because I think that people don't appreciate this country enough. You know what I'm saying? That we are very spoiled. There were people saying that they would trade this guy for Donald Trump. Now imagine that. Imagine saying you want to trade, because you can protest against Donald Trump, and as long as you're doing it in a common sense way, you ain't got to worry about losing your life. If doing it in a common sense way. Over other countries, they're protesting in Iran right now. We take United States and our freedoms for granted on a major level. We do. But I'm going to show y'all some of this stuff. And you know, we're going to talk about this one. This Renee Nicole Good, right? So, Sky, I don't know if you're familiar with who that is. This was the protester in Minnesota that decided with her wife, she drops her kid off at school and then goes out, and instead of going home and just enjoying life, she decides she wants to take her vehicle and park it sideways in the middle of a street, impeding ICE to do their jobs. So we're going to start this show off, and I want to show y'all this video, and then we're going to talk about it, because this young lady lost her life senselessly. She didn't have to, but she did. And we want to get into it, because now they're protesting against ICE, and I just thought this was a really good topic to talk about, because it's some life lessons to be learned in this whole video. It is some life lessons, and I definitely want to get into it. So without further ado, I'm waiting for this to come up. Here it is. So I actually need to clean it. I'm gonna have video and ICE members cams. So this is from one of his body cams. I want y'all to see this, and then we're gonna discuss it, and then also show how the news lie. Here we go. Well, my
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at
hold on, it lost. Hold on, Sky.
I'm not mad at That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whoa!
New video footage of the fatality of 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good by an Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agent on January 7, 2026, has emerged from multiple perspectives. The incident, which occurred during a federal immigration enforcement operation in South Minneapolis, has become a national flashpoint with conflicting narratives supported by different video angles. Recent updates indicate three main types of footage have been analyzed by investigators, and the public shows Good's vehicle stationary and perpendicular across the road for approximately 3 to 4 minutes before the confrontation. It reportedly shows her partner getting out to film before federal agents surround the car.
Young lady, mother of three, lost her life.
I'm still, I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day. I'm still trying to figure out what happened at that point. Did she actually try to run over one of the ICE officers, or was she just trying to get away or trying to move her car? Like, I'm confused on that, because I didn't see anything warranting that cop, because I thought it was multiple shots. So one ICE agent shot 3 times, right? And hit her 3 times?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and
okay,
this was
so
the guy. this was a guy that got dragged. Like, he had been dragged before.
Right.
By a vehicle. And I always tell, I like to, let me leave politics out of it for a minute. I want to ask y'all a question. If somebody was following you around, say if you was door dashing, somebody was following you around, they was harassing you, and they boxed you in with your vehicle, do you think that that whole ordeal is going to end peacefully? Take the whole federal agent out. Put yourself in their shoes. You're just a dash door, and they don't like the way you're door dashing, right? They may not like you being in their neighborhood, and so they follow you around, and then they box you in with your car while you're doing your job. Do y'all think that that's going to end without an incident? I personally don't. You box me in with your car, and you've been following me, and I don't know who you is. You know what we call that? Stalking. We call it stalking. That's actually a crime. Now add that to a federal agent or a police or a detective. What do you think is going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I just don't believe two wrongs don't make a right. One, if he has been through a situation like that, he should have went to some type of, you know how when police fire their gun, they have to go talk to somebody before they get back out on the streets and make sure they up here. So that could have triggered something. She's in the wrong for what she's done, but I didn't see anything warranted for her to die. I guess that's what I'm saying. He paid his part, she played her part, the girlfriend played her part. But if I could see from the angle that she literally tried to run that man over, then okay. But from the angle, I don't know if she was just moving, leaving, scared. I don't know if she tried to run him over. I have no clue. I haven't seen another angle.
Right, and I think the one of the key lessons in all this is that if the cops pull you over, it would have been better at the end of the day to just go to jail. They tell you to get out. If you got to go to jail and post bond, do that. If you go against authority and cops as many cops has been run over or dragged, it's not going to end well. Right. Rather it be she tried to run him over or she just tried to get away, right? It's not going to end well either way. You see what I'm saying? So, she would have been best just getting out of, actually she would have been this better just not even being parked in the street like that. Like, what are you doing? You got 3 kids. So doing that was more important than raising your kids. You could have been volunteering at the school. You could have been doing something more productive. That's what you're doing. Because these immigrants, these illegal immigrants, it's a difference between immigrants and illegal immigrants. These illegal immigrants don't give a damn about you. They don't. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't many people that I know I'm going to put my life on the line for. And for some strangers, hell no. It is more important things to do in the world than to be following some agents. They got a job to do, man. You may not like the job, but they got a job to do, and you got to let people do their job. I think what they need to do is revisit the way you can protest. I don't think it's cool to be able to block streets, block intersections. People got jobs to do. We see it in California all the time, where they protesting, they standing on the damn highway. Why? These folks got a job to do. Why are you impeding on their job?
That's true. Don't shoot the messenger, right? Don't shoot the messenger. And you're right, but not just her, just any people that wants to try to take the law into their own hands. You know what I'm saying? There was other ways for her to, let's just say, protest. I mean, I still don't have the whole story on why she took her car and blocked it. She thought that was going to stop ICE from going to the other side, or What did she thought was gonna happen blocking them with her personal vehicle? Because let's just say she didn't get shot. Let's just say she took off. They got your license plate number. All they gotta do is call the next county or the next city, wherever the hell you going, and then they're gonna hold you, detain you till they come get you. So I'm just trying to figure out in her mind, what was she trying to accomplish? And then you have her girlfriend out there instigating, isolating them. So where is the adult here? Where's the person like you said, 3 kids at home? I'm just confused on that. So she lost her life basically for no reason, because after you die and they bury you, they still go get these illegal immigrants and ship them out. You know.
It just shows how, to me, it shows how selfish a lot of these folks are. Like, they need to put their kids first. People don't, many people do not love their kids. I've said this on the show before. There are people who do not love their children the way that they say they love their children. Because if they did, the decisions and the choices they will make will be at the best, what's best for their child. I'm not doing all that. I got people depending on me. I'm not doing that. No matter what my political beliefs are.
Yep. It's a tragedy, and I hated that it ended that way. And then your girlfriend gonna need therapy because she was right there recording the whole damn thing. So she seen in real time this man shoot 3 times into that car. And I think they said one hit her in the head. Then you record her crashing into the pole or another car, and then what about the people that were just standing by, just bystanders just standing out there, because bullets don't have no eyes now. This man is shooting at the car. Any bullet could have ricocheted and hit somebody. A lot of stuff could have went wrong that could have been avoided. I think that's just what I'm trying to say.
I think a lot of these politicians that they gaslight these situations. I think they need to be starting to be held criminally. They need to be charged. They need to be held criminally responsible for some of this stuff. Some of this rhetoric, some of this, man, putting gasoline on the fire, egging people on, ICE get out, the way that they speak. I think they need to be held more accountable. Like that Minnesota mayor, held more accountable. Because all they doing is, man, they're creating vigilantes.
Yeah, oh yeah. And like you said, a lot of people are spoiled, right? Think about everybody who's protesting, right? These are people who have not been affected by this situation. You go down to Arizona, Texas, and places like that, where some of those families have been killed by illegal immigrants. Not saying they ain't been killed in other states. I'm just making an example. Those people are protesting for ICE to get rid of them because they have lost loved ones or whatever. A lot of these folks are just bored. They ain't in school. They ain't got no job. They ain't got nothing to do. And now it's just, this is the fun thing to do. It's like going to a concert. This is the fun thing to do, to go out here and be all up in these agents' faces protesting. You don't even know what you're protesting about. You have never in your life ran into an illegal immigrant in your life, but you're out there protesting. I'm confused.
I'm glad you said that, because this next thing I'm going to show y'all kind of talks exactly about that. You know what I'm saying? People out, man, I call them confused protesters. They don't have a clue what they're protesting. You know what I'm saying? It's all, I just hate Donald Trump, or I just hate this politician, or I just hate this policy. And they have no idea what they're talking about or what they're doing. So I'm glad that you said that. I found an example of protesters that's out protesting and don't know what the hell they're talking about. Hold on, y'all. We froze for a minute. It froze for a minute. So hold on. Let me get to this video. Hold on. Let me close. I got a window I need to close out too. That might be slowing me down on my end. All right, here we go, Sky. All right, it's coming, y'all. It's just a slow dinosaur process right now.
How are you guys? Where are you from, guys?
Slow process.
Hi, guys. Where are you? No more war. Where are you from?
Here.
Here? And where are you protesting right now? Today?
No more wars in Venezuela.
No more wars in Venezuela. And you know about the situation in Venezuela?
Yes.
What do you know about the situation in Venezuela? So, you want to give me an answer? Because we can talk. I'm not aggressive or anything. I just want to talk, actually. So we have here a group of people that they are protesting because they want no more war in Venezuela. But all these people, there's nobody here from Venezuela. So from all these people, nobody is from Venezuela. This is people from United States, this is people from other places, but there's no people from Venezuela. And actually, I am from Venezuela. Andrés Bermúdez Portillo, from Maracaibo, Venezuela. I spent time in jail because of the regime of Nicolás Maduro. We have 25 years with a dictatorship. And right now, in the moment that somebody take attention of that situation, people decide to protest because they don't want war. So in the past 5 years of 30 million of people that live in Venezuela, more than 10 million leave the country. So these people is right now protesting because they don't want that we, the Venezuelan people, recover our freedom. So these people don't want that Venezuela be free. These people is just here because they want to attack Donald Trump and they want to use the name of my country and the name of my people to do this without caring about all the people that has died and is suffering right now in a jail in Venezuela because of this regime.
So these people must be getting their information from YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter or the media. Because if you've never stepped foot in Venezuela, or if you don't have a Venezuela friend, I ain't talking about down the line. I ain't talking about, a girl that was born in the United States, but her great-great-great-great-great-grandmama came from Venezuela. I mean, a first world, like he said, Venezuelan, somewhere sitting down with you talking, then I can understand if you can pick a side. But if this is just, I need something to do, I'm bored, I want to stand on the street and hold a sign, like, how you go to wrestling, they got the signs up, that's kind of what it looks like. And that's the stuff that gets people hurt and killed because you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're doing, you've never been to the country, you've never talked to anybody who has, let's just say in the last 10 years, lived in Venezuela. They don't know how this man was a dictator, none of that stuff, because I don't know. That's why I don't talk about it. I don't talk about stuff that I don't know. So now you're going to get other people emotionally involved in something that they have no clue, and then it's going to end up just like that lady getting shot and killed for no reason.
Man, these are the same folks that went out not even a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, having a protest, a no kings, no dictatorship protest. Now they're talking about releasing the dictator. Well, how does that work? Which one is?
Did they bring him back to the United States, or is he locked up in Venezuela?
Oh, no, they brought him here. They went in and got him, picked him up out of his country and flew him right back and put him in New York. He's in the feds right now. Trump gangster, and they ain't even know about it. They did that, and the Congress ain't know, the House of Representatives ain't know, and you know what? I don't blame them for not telling them, because they would have let them know. They would have tipped them off.
But he didn't need them to do that no way. You just need Congress to say yes or no to go to war. The United States can go to war with other governments, but the United States can't go to war with Crips and Bloods. You need Congress to fund. You need the Senate to say yes. But other than that, because of George Washington winning the Revolutionary War, the president has the power to move the military anywhere he wants at any given time. And that includes special forces, snipers, Delta forces. He is the leader and commander of the military. He didn't say he was going to war with the Venezuelan government. He said he was going down there and get a dictator. And no, he didn't need their permission to do that. No president does.
You're absolutely right, Sky. And then let me ask, because you're a common sense guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you was to walk up and you was to smack the shit out of me, and I not respond, right?
Right.
Is that a fight?
No, not really. No,
it ain't
maybe it's more self-defense than fighting. How about that?
What self-defense? If you walked up and you smacked the shit out of me and I didn't react, it was an act of violence, but it was not a fight.
Right.
Don't it have to be two parties involved for it to be a war?
Right.
You see what I mean? You see the language, how dangerous the language that they use, how dangerous it is?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, for it to have to be a war, I've noticed this. They keep saying Trump is going to start a war. When he bombed the Iran nuclear plants, what happened after that?
Not much that I know of.
Nothing. When he went with that drone and he took out that Iranian general, remember, Trump about to start a war. What happened?
Nothing that I know of.
He went and got this president from his house. You know, they ain't just take him. He took his old lady too. Right? What happened? Nothing.
Nothing that I know of.
You know,
look, I mean, Damo, two things can be true, Damo. You can make enemies and not start a war. So as of today, no wars have started. Yeah, no wars have started. You can still make enemies. So let's not confuse making enemies with starting a war. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, we got enemies. We had enemies long before Trump. We gonna have enemies long after Trump. There's people, we're gonna have enemies because of the difference in religions. Religious beliefs are always going to make us have enemies, because that's why war has been going on for so long. Religious, the difference in religious beliefs. So enemies is one thing we're always going to have. But when you got a real slime in office, when you got a bulldog in office, people they gonna move different. And you know what's funny? The dude was like, man, we taking their oil. And we keeping their ships too. You know what I'm saying? Because when a bully come up and he smack the shit out of you, you either going to react or you going to stand down. And all these other ones, they woofing, but we don't see no action. Man, I know United States, I know that we scared a lot of folks to be able to go in countries, military zone undetected. They didn't even see them, dude. They never saw them coming. They only went in with 20 soldiers. How badass is that? They went in, it took them, they talk about war. What war? They got that man and they got him in and out in 2 hours. You mean, this was Russian, man, Venezuela had Russian and Chinese equipment, right? Because that's who was buying or getting a lot of, them places, especially China, most of their oil come from Venezuela. So man, for China to be able to, their equipment to be ineffective against the military equipment of the United States, I'm quite sure scared them. They're telling the United States that they're unhappy with this and that, but they ain't gonna do nothing about it. Because when you bring in a stick to a machine gun fight, you know what I'm saying? You don't stand a chance.
Nope.
That's what he's showing. He like, man, y'all. But man, it's too long. Hold on, we gotta reconnect. Give us a second. It's saying reconnecting. Let me bring up the next story while that's going on, all right?
Okay.
Because there's been some crazy stuff. This one is about this mother, man. I want to show you this video, Sky. Oh, shit, man. These fools out here losing they absolute cotton picking mind.
Mm-hmm.
What this mother did, man, she need to at least do a half a year to a year in jail. Oh, this was on call. It's because you 30 and 40 don't mean you mature.
That's true.
It does not mean mature. This is another. This. I put it in my. I gotta see stories also. I posted on my page so y'all can watch this video. But so it's slowly coming up. Hold on, y'all.
Well, he'll be back soon. I guess he's having internet.
Now at 11, a shocking sucker punch in the middle of a girls' basketball game. A 15-year-old falling violently to the floor. What's just as shocking is what spectators.
15-year-old Lauren Ham of Irvine was playing in a basketball tournament in Garden Grove on Sunday until this happened. Ham was clotheslined with a punch from an opposing player.
Total shock. Just couldn't believe that could happen to my child.
Lauren's mother, Alice, wasn't there. She was watching her other kids play at the time, but when she went to pick her up, Lauren had a bag of ice and needed to be helped into the car. It turns out she suffered a concussion and is still feeling the effects days later, unable to go to school, forced to sit in a darkened room.
To actually see it and know that was my kid, just hurt me so bad.
Even more hurtful, Alice says, is that she says she can hear in the video the girl's mother directing her to attack Lauren.
It's pretty clear that she tells her daughter, you have to hit her for that. And that's exactly what her daughter did.
Listen for yourself. We're not releasing the girl's name because she too is a minor, but Eyewitness News has learned she's the daughter of a former NBA player. We reached out to the family's attorney who told us tonight, my client and her family are deeply and sincerely remorseful. This is an unfortunate incident involving a very hardworking and promising student athlete. We must keep some perspective and keep in mind that this is a young minor who has made a mistake. We would respectfully request that she be given the benefit of the doubt and that her privacy be respected given her young age. That is not enough for Alice.
The mom incites violence upon my child, and that is never okay. And I want the mom to be held accountable for her actions.
That's crazy. And you know what the crazy part is? Because, I always hate, people always use race and everything. But this might be the one time that I will pull the race card, because I hate pulling the race card. Why is every time we see silliness, it's always black people? I won't say white people don't do silliness, Asians, Venezuelan, but damn silliness. Your black mama told a black child to hit this Asian girl, which you can see she was bigger than she was, on a basketball court that's being recorded and full of witnesses. That is assault. And so if the Asian mama and the daughter gets a lawyer and sue you for everything you got it coming. Where are these ghetto mamas coming from? Who would say that? It would be different if the little girl was beating on your child and you're like, no, you can't take that, but we gotta go back out there. If she intentionally tried to foul you, that little girl couldn't beat you up if she tried. You outweighed her probably about 50 pounds. And here's the mama screaming from the stands, Damo. You gotta hit her. You can't let that slide, blah, blah, blah. And she did it, not even thinking twice. Man, that is crazy. And then they wonder why when black people, prominent black people, move into affluent white neighborhoods, why they look at you the way they do, why they circle the block the way they do, why when you go into these stores the way they do. Because people like me and Damo might not act like that, but there's so many other blacks that act like that, that when me and him walk into places of affluent white people, I understand why I'm getting the looks. I'm understanding why I'm getting the stares. I'm understanding why they're following me around the store. Because of stuff like that. That made no sense. That's crazy.
I think that mother need to do a year in jail. She need to do a year in jail. I mean, they have to come down hard on parents to do this. I mean, that's on video. That's undeniable. That girl could have literally took that girl's life. If she had hit her head hard enough and fractured her head, that would have been, a felony 1 or a felony 2. I think that mother, the lesson need to be taught through that mom. Put her, BA, I'm gonna just say that, put her BA in jail for a whole year. You got to do the whole 365 days.
I mean, that's just crazy. That is crazy. So that girl now needs to be kicked off the basketball team. And even though she's a minor, she still can go to juvenile. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about, we don't release her name. That's stupid. Everybody in the crowd know who she is. Somebody online that already released it. You act like the girl is playing basketball and the announcer didn't say, well, number 25, whatever her last name is, or she don't go to school with some of these people, or everybody know who she is, or she's a minor, going to release the name. All I got to do is go online. Somebody's going to release the name. You know what I'm saying? That is
she's gonna get threats against her life. That's guaranteed. And then they're going to be crying about it. But action has consequences.
It shows
choices have consequences.
Yeah.
And that's the choice she made, and she got to deal with the consequence to come with that. Because she's going to be getting threats on her life, the mama and the daughter.
Right. But Damo, think about, here's the backlash. If she didn't do it, then she was going to have consequences and backlashes from her mama. That's why I'm with you about the parent. You didn't put your child between a rock and a hard place. Either she had to do it and take those consequences, or not do it and then go home and take your consequences. That's crazy.
I think they need to consider, I think in more cases, they need to really consider giving kids to the father's custody. If the fathers are more, and it's proven, if they're more stable financially, mentally, structure-wise, more stable than the mom, the kids should go to the father then. I don't think a lot of these kids need to just go to the mom automatically because she had it. Because I think a lot of these moms are unfit. They are unfit to care for children. One of the apps I'm on right now, I can tell you, there are a lot of moms on this app who are unfit to be mothers. Unfit without question. No way should the kids be in their custody. I think it's negligible, you know what I'm saying, for the system to even put a lot of these kids in the custody of a lot of these moms. And we just seen 2 prime examples. In this show, we've seen, we've done what? 3 stories so far, and 2 of the 3 have shown mothers that aren't fit. They were not fit to have custody of the kids. So if the court, let's say that the system deemed them more fit than the father, what does that say about the men they had kids with? Because if these mothers are really unfit and they got custody, then damn, how unfit is the father? And maybe they just need to take the kids all together. Maybe they just need to take the kids. Neither one of y'all are fit, man. Take the kids, give them to somebody that, you know, we can show that's gonna love them and that's mentally stable. That's the key thing. That is mentally stable.
Oh yeah.
I don't think just because you're a mom, you should have custody of kids. Hell no. No, no, no. I think if the father is proven to be a better fit, then that's where the kids need to go. But
her father was a former NBA player, number 25 for the Chicago Bulls, so you can look that up and see where he's at, because you're right, he might have been more stable, or maybe not, because if he was still playing at the time when she was a little girl, then he couldn't be stable because he's traveling on the world. So I don't know if he's retired now or what the dad is doing. But then once they said that her father, because just imagine if that guy's still playing, because he didn't look that old. Imagine if he's still playing for the Bulls and this comes out that your baby mama told your daughter to assault another child. She didn't even think about how that made him look. And the Bulls. You know what I'm saying?
You know, there's a lot of fathers because, man, I think a lot of men, we get punished because we work. Well, you know, the child should be in the care of the person that spends the most time with him. Well, heifer, I'm working all the time. All right? Now, this heifer, if she was working, she wouldn't be spending no time with the kids either, but she ain't. She at home. She's at home because I'm working. Or I am responsible for the brunt of the bills. What are we talking about here? You see what I'm saying? Like, they punish the fathers for being good men. You work too much, so because you work all the time to provide for this kid, we're going to just give it to this unstable woman right here that makes decisions based off her emotions. Everything is based, it's not for the betterment of the kids. It's based on how she feels.
Oh, how she feels.
Man, matter of fact, I'm glad we stopped there because this next video from Love Dorsey, man, I don't know if y'all familiar with Love Dorsey. Absolutely love Dorsey. But she kind of talked about this. Man, Sky, by accident, we coming up with this stuff and like it all aligns in with the topics that we got today.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess this next one is Love Dorsey. She talks about the come to children. This is exactly what she was. And I thought, I don't know why. So this is moving slow. As always, we're going to talk this. And then we're going to talk about, last but not least, the grave digger. The dude that was arrested. But right now, here's the fabulous, wonderful Dorsey. Big fan of her. Sky, I don't know if you've seen her. This is going to pop in a minute. I don't know if you've seen much of her videos. I'd be shocked if you haven't. But she be giving some game. Hold on.
Somebody said men and women should have equal say.
All right.
I'm glad you said that. But we don't. We don't. If you got me pregnant right now, we both was equally irresponsible for fucking and making a baby. But your views could be one thing and my views could be the other. Guess who get the final say? I do. And to see, the problem with you hoes is y'all don't want to be real enough to just say this. I'm a woman and I'm real enough to say every child I got, them making it in the world was a decision of mine. It wasn't the daddy's, because guess what? If I ain't want to have them, I wasn't going to have them. If I want to have them and a nigga was saying don't have them, I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's what most bitches is doing. So when we talk about now it's time to take care of these kids, bitch, you're not no motherfucking victim. Ho, you're not a victim of nothing. Nothing. And you can talk about fair or unfair. I told y'all motherfuckers yesterday, life ain't fair. It's not.
Come on. Absolutely right. There's two things when you realize people ain't grew up mentally. I ain't talking about age-wise. They don't realize life ain't fair, and they don't realize there's a double standard. I don't care whether you go through scientifically about men and women, there's a double standard. Biblically, there's a double standard. There is a double standard, and life is not fair. You try to be equal, but it's not fair. And everything she said brings me back to this, the single mother mentality. Now, since she said that, it makes me think that most single mamas are victims of their own circumstances. When you have women that have child or multiple children, they always want to blame the daddy, or why the daddy don't step up. But like she said, you have the final say so. Two, depending on what state you in, you're going to get granted a lot more grace than the guy. So now sometimes, since she put it that way, I'm thinking, well, damn, what role did you play in this? And since you have the final say so, what does the man have power to do? Nothing. But you have power to take him to court, tell him when he can see his kids, all this sort of stuff. So don't think he's good for us going to work and paying child support, or he wants to be in the child's life and then you don't want him in the child's life because he's talking to somebody else. So yeah, I'm glad she said it that way, and that's my first time ever seeing that, Damo. Saying it that way, because that's making me think, well, shit, I didn't think about it like that. How much power these women have before the baby and after the baby.
That's why, I'm always giving my flowers to Love Dorsey. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of content creators. She was around for a long time, and she is as honest get. I think if more women were accountable and just were honest what's really going on, the world would be a better place. And I think they would get better outcomes. I personally do. I think they would get better outcomes. This next story, Sky, I sent this to you. This was like, this was bizarre, dude. That's one of the weirdest things. I've seen some weird things in my life. This up there, bro. This is up there. And let you know, we got some real scary people in the world. You never know who your next door neighbor is. You just don't know what's going on in the house over from you. So without further ado, they go to grave. I mean, dude couldn't come to my house. I never see it. Hell no, I move. Hold on, y'all. I done froze.
Gruesome discovery inside a Pennsylvania man's home. Police find the remains of more than 100 skeletons. 34-year-old Jonathan Garlick is facing more than 500 charges of being held on $1 million bail. Investigators say since Halloween, he has broken into dozens of freestanding burial chambers and gravesites, and some of these remains were 200 years old. Others newer, including remains with a pacemaker attached.
Oh, Jason, police think that Jonathan Gerlach was selling at least some of those human remains online. Investigators say he had collected a trove of human skulls, skeletons, and bones, including full corpses hanging from his basement ceiling.
I never thought I would see this in my life. It was an experience that you really don't want to relive. They were basically on display. There was some stuff in boxes, but most of the stuff was on display.
According to newly released affidavits, police say Gerlach used crowbars and screwdrivers to break into dozens of mausoleums and underground burial vaults on both the Yeadon and Philadelphia sides of the historic Mount Moriah Cemetery. You can actually see where some of the stones were moved and vaults burglarized. 2 corpses stolen from this grave, 7 sets of remains stolen from this family plot. All of the remains were from those who died many years ago, but some as young as infants. Descendants of family members buried here are sickened.
It's yucky. I mean, anybody finding out, we think that, we're going to rest in peace and be okay there. And I mean,
first off, let's just talk about facts, right? When you dig somebody up or digging up something, you're digging up germs, bacteria, and diseases. If this man had over 100 pieces of skeleton bones and remains, do you know what he was intaking in his nose, in his skin? Because these damn things now is releasing all that. That's why they put you in these type of caskets. Back in the day, they used to just throw your ass in the ground or put you in them cheap wooden caskets. And that's why a lot of us are sick to this day, because all the damn diseases and germs and viruses have floated from the body. That's one. 2, I don't know, Dave, it's hard for me to believe that. He had to have inside help. First of all, is he the Incredible Hulk? Who, I don't care if you do have a crowbar. How do you move those stones? You know how much them stones weigh? You know what they made out of? Marble? How did he even get in there? That had to be an inside job. And they say he's collected 100 since October of last year? No. He's just a patsy. Somebody else was helping him get into those graves. And do you know to find, you can find the headstone, but do you know, like when the FBI, somebody do a cold case and they need to dig the body up, there's this long sticks, about 12 feet long. They got to go down there and find out where their casket is. They stick it in the ground until they hit it and say, okay, it's right here. We can start digging right there. How in the, I'm sorry, I mentally cannot see him by himself with a crowbar and a shovel or what the hell ever. And nobody saw this. Like, he can do this within minutes. Just dig. I don't know. Something about that story doesn't make sense to me, Damo.
Well, let me start right here. First and foremost, you ain't gonna catch me in no grave at all. I don't want to go there during the day. I definitely don't want to go there at night. To me, a graveyard is one of the scariest places you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll see and hear things without really hearing them and seeing them. Just your imagination. The stigma of being in the graveyard at night is scary within itself. 200 bones from 200 years ago? I mean, man, they talking about they had pacemakers still attached to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it probably somebody in there with a wooden leg with the kung fu stick on it, the kickstand on it, all kind of gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. What I want to know, who buying this shit? Who buying this shit?
That's why it's not making sense to me. If I need a new hip, you're not gonna sell me a hip from a dead person that's been dead 100 years. What is that hip gonna do for me? If I need a new bone, what is that bone gonna do for me? Again, you're going to get sick because it has decayed, and you're gonna take an old dead decayed bone and stick it in your body. That's why I said something about the story. It's not making sense.
It wouldn't make sense to me except for this. In these years that I've been on the earth, I've seen some sadistic, sick stuff. Things that wouldn't. When Ed Gein, I don't know if you know who Ed Gein is. He is the gentleman that they based the whole movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, from.
Right.
He is the original Leatherface. That's where that character was drawn from. This is a guy that used to do that. He had lamps made of bones. He would take skin and cut the skin off of dead bodies, off of corpses, and make a mask of it. If this stuff didn't exist years ago, I wouldn't believe it. But, seeing and knowing the things that I know, it is not far-fetched. I believe it's possible. I don't put anything past anybody anymore. You know how I used to say, oh, I seen it all? I don't even say that no more. Because I know something else coming. I know.
Yeah.
You could have never convinced me that a human could let another live human defecate on him and find that sexual. I never would have believed.
Yeah, some people do, and you know, from the Texas Chainsaw movies I saw, he was killing the people, skinning them, and doing all that stuff. So these were fresh bodies. This man is trying to sell bodies that's been in the ground for almost 200 years. And so again, who helped him dig that stuff up? And then two, if it was certain people he was looking for, it had to be an inside job. Who the hell can go to a graveyard and be like, oh, that's what George Washington was buried. That's what such as this person. Somebody on the inside had to have helped you and gave you the knowledge for what
he done dug up a slave. You know that's messed up. He done dug up a slave or a slave owner. Hey, hold on for a minute, Cash. We doing a live, what you call it right quick. Hold on for a minute. Man, he done dug up. You're talking about 200 years old? Man, they still had slaves down there back then. So this boy is digging up slave and slave owners? Really? That's where we at with it? That's what we doing now? And like I said, Sky, I wouldn't even believe that people weren't this mentally unstable. But I know that people are mentally unstable. Nothing shocks me anymore. When a person can have, think about this. I'm just going to let this last point, and I'm going to let you have the floor. When people can take the life of a person and then have intercourse with the corpse.
Oh, yeah. Necrophilia. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, the key word you're using is people. This man didn't do this by himself. Because even if you dug up, how do you get that heavy ass casket up? Or how do you open it? Have you seen the way they buried people today? You know, the way they sealed those caskets? Because he didn't just dig up people 200 years ago. Those caskets might have been easy to get up. They said up to a certain time. So modern day burials, huh?
But you know what, though? And I think this is something that we got to, are they really burying them in the casket? Because when we had the funeral and put the first 2 or 3 shovels of dirt on, but do we really know if these bodies are being buried in caskets? Do we really know?
Hopefully, if you at the burial, you watching them put the casket in the ground.
Yeah, but we don't stay to watch them finish the whole process. Most people, go elsewhere. Think about how black funerals go. Most people don't sit around and wait for that whole process. They'll see it go on the ground and they'll see maybe the first couple shovels going there, but they don't sit around and wait for that whole show. Most people, they share their condolences with everybody else attending, and then they leave and go, and afterward.
Right.
Okay.
Even if that, once they put the casket in the ground, and let's just say they throw a little bit of dirt, if that dirt settles, that's still some strength. I don't know if you ever shoveled snow or shoveled dirt before, but that's still some strength to shovel that stuff up and then try to open up that and do that. So, and he didn't look that strong.
I believe he had help. Oh, he definitely had help.
Yeah, and that's the narrative I'm going through. I ain't saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying, where are the other people? He's just the one that's on TV. So we'll see if he snitches or not to see who else was helping him out there.
I don't want to sell with nobody like that.
Demo, I have never in my life heard somebody have 500 charges against them. 500 charges. Like, Jesus Christ. I've heard somebody have like 5 life sentences. I was like, damn, 5 life sentences. So if you die and come back, you got to go back to jail. 500 charges? Come on, Jesus Christ.
Man, let me tell you this. Let me say this too. This is why a certain description, when I see it, I stay far away from it. You want to know what that description is?
What's that?
And man, maybe this might be profile. This is profiling. I'm just going to say what I do. I profile. If you got that septic ring in your nose and your hair dyed blue, red, pink, orange, or any color, crazy color like that, I deem you mentally insane or unstable. If you got any septic ring, if you got tattoos all up here, all on your face, in places that I know it hurt, I deem you mentally unstable. And I want to stay far away from you as possible. I may say hi. I may say hi, be cordial. Hey, how you doing? But after I say that shit, I want to go far away from you as possible. Because when we see these stories, the people that, the perpetrators fit this description. Tattoos all in the face, septic nose ring, or them big ass, you know, where the loops, them African earring loops, you know, big ass hole, your earlobe drooping down. You know what I'm saying? It got a whole big old button in the middle of it. When I see that, piercings on the eyelashes, you know, tongue piercing, or the tongue split to look like a snake. When I see that, time to go the other way. Hey, how you doing, Fred? I'm going this way.
Yep. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah. Most of us, that's how we survive in this world. You know, we have to profile and use our common sense. Sometimes we right, sometimes we wrong, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
I'd rather be right than wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be right than wrong, Sky. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm right, I'm right. But if I'm wrong, damn, I could have been right. You know?
Right.
So I'm still right. When I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I'm still right. Because I could have been right. So I'm still right.
Right.
Even if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, man. Hell no. It's certain things, man, you know, when y'all got them Pooh Shiesty masks on, you know, I don't care who your mama and daddy is. If I see you in the Pooh Shiesty pulling up, guess what? I might still have $10 to pump in my gas tank. That pump gonna get left right there because I'm pulling off. I'm gonna gently lay that on the ground, get in my car and pull off. 1 + 1 is 2. I ain't got to wait around to see the answer when I already know the answer. You fit certain descriptions, and I see it. And you may not like it, but I'd rather be safe than stupid and sorry.
That's true. If your spidey senses get to tingling, listen to it.
Hell yeah. Y'all call it neuropathy. I say hell yeah. Your spider sense. Hell. Your spider sense. Ooh-wee. That's crazy world, man.
Man, I'm with you now. I will never say I've seen or heard it all until the day they put me in the ground. There's always going to be somebody that's going to trump the next one. So if the bar has moved up to digging up 200 bodies from 200 years ago up to today and selling it on the black market, well then whoever the next person is, you better be able to trump that one.
I wonder how much he got for it, because you know I'm gonna find me a big chicken to eat off that bone and be like, hey, this is a little baby leg for sale. Anybody want it? Eat the gristle off of it, sell it as a little baby leg. Here go a baby thigh right here. Man, I need to know how much he made. Yeah.
Because see, it's not too far-fetched, because not too long ago, maybe close to 20 years ago in Nashville, it was one of those cemeteries where they bury vets. The man ran out of land, and I guess he didn't want to buy any more. You can look this up. It was on the food was going in there, digging the bodies back up, throwing away the bodies, cleaning the caskets, and reselling the caskets. So this what you're saying is not far-fetched. I'm just saying he didn't do it by himself. This man had a team of people go back in the ground, dig these people up, throw that body away, re-clean the casket, put it back up and sell the casket. So this, what we just said today, has trumped that. What's up, Jasmine? How you doing? Yeah, this has trumped that, Damo. And we want to thank everybody that's watching on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Thank y'all. I hope you have a great day, Jasmine. Yes. Damo will be back in 1 second. Y'all, 2026 has been absolutely crazy in these first, where we at? These first 13 days. Tell your dad I said hello. And your mom and your brother. Tell everybody I said hello. I hope y'all are okay and having a good time up there in Illinois. This year has been crazy, y'all. I don't know, and I won't even use the word crazy. We're only 13 days in. But there's some sick people in this world. And sometimes technology can be good and sometimes technology can be bad. But the good thing about technology now is maybe back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, we would have never caught this guy. Back then, but because of technology and stuff like that and cameras everywhere, this guy has gotten caught. Because there ain't no telling how long he been doing it before he got caught. That's crazy.
All right, they finally let me back in. Hell,
Get
damn.
you back in.
Y'all done kicked me off my, y'all done evicted me off my own shit, didn't y'all? Hell. But yeah, Sky, you're right. Thank God for technology, because Ed Gang got away with this for.
Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
He got away with that for a long time, man.
Oh,
he
man.
actually took an old woman's life, and
Yeah.
you know, 2 of them, I think, sure. Oh, I don't know. You gotta be cautious. Is this dude lived in where the neighbors were within arm's reach of this dude? And you know, so when you walk by, that may not be garbage that you smelling. It may not be garbage.
and listen to and listen to your local animals too, because you know if there's certain things in trash, you know, that brings raccoons and dogs and wolves and jackals and things like that, y'all might need to check that trash. It might be more than just food in the trash bags.
Man, diabolical. I tell you,
it is.
What is diabolical.
It really is.
Y'all tell y'all think that this week had a lot of news? Stay tuned. We got way more. I found way more next week. I promise y'all. Make sure you tune in.
Yes.
This year is starting off with some stories.
I don't know how we're gonna beat that, to be honest with you. Just the fact that he's been charged for 500 different accounts of whatever they're doing, with everything he's done. I didn't even know you could get up to 500 charges. His bail has to be the highest bail ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Astronomical stuff, a number that you wouldn't even think about. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. This is just 13 days within the new year, so I can just imagine what we might talk about that might beat that. That's crazy. And it takes a sick individual to even do that. You couldn't pay me enough to dig up a dead body. I don't care if it died yesterday. That is just, I don't know, where's your mind at to even just
There's some people that's lost. I'm telling y'all, there's some people out here, they are beyond lost. I feel like, and I mean this wholeheartedly, I feel like we living in the Twilight Zone. I feel like this is the real life Twilight Zone that we're living in right now. I do. I think we're in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. I think the issue is that a lot of people got too much time on their hands. America has gotten to the point where people don't have like nothing, you know, because back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, people were fighting for civil rights and fighting for this and fighting for that. And Now, folks, if they're not in school, they're not in college, they're not working, they're just sitting at home watching TV, watching this, watching Dexter. I love Dexter. Watching all this stuff, and now they got just way too much time on their hands. And like you said, they need to bring the draft back, because if you're not going to work, if you're not going to go to school, then you need to at least do 2 years in the military. I had a friend to tell me that he was from Sudan, and his daddy was from Egypt, and it's compulsory as when you turn 18 in Sudan, or maybe in Egypt too, I'm lying, but I do know in Sudan that you have to do at least 2 years in the military. At least. They don't care about you going to college, you working a job. As soon as you turn 18, you're going to do your 2 years, then you can go to work and go to college. I think the United States, I might have said this in previous videos, is heading that way. Because you have way too many people with too much time on their hands. And they're not being...
I'll tell you something else, because I know we're getting ready to close this show out. I'll tell you something else they need to bring back, Sky. You know what else I think they need to bring back?
What's that?
Asylums.
I didn't know they had got rid of them. I never knew
they got rid of them. They need to bring them back.
Oh, wow.
We have turned... You're right. Crusher, you're right. We have turned into a toilet bowl. You hear me? They need to bring asylums back.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of, and that's what it is. We got too many sick individuals, and they're roaming free. Sky, before we head out, man, do you want to do shout outs, man? You want to go ahead and shout out?
Well, let me first do the ones here. Shout out to Jasmine. Thank you so much for commenting. Shout out to Jeff, brother. He's my RCW brother. So don't forget, y'all. I think the next RCW show is coming up. Go on their Facebook page to see when the next RCW show is. Shouts out to Crusher, ICW Inhumane Championship Wrestling, January 31st, Huntington, Tennessee. Don't forget February down in Arkansas, the Shane Smalls Cup. So ICW Inhumane Championship Wrestling have a lot of good things coming up. Shouts out from Vernon, Indiana, brother. How you doing? Shouts out to the people on I'm sorry, y'all, Instagram. Let me see. Some of these people I cannot, the way they got their names on here. 4594, Shad Moxon, and Marshall Tawana. Thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget, y'all, tonight it's time to bring back the Off Top radio show. Off Top radio show, I'm sorry. The Off Top radio station, the D-Bling radio show tonight with music. The Elite One radio show that comes on Thursdays. Tune in. We have the music. And shouts out to everybody who comes on here every Tuesday just to have a conversation with us. I don't care if you're at work, if you're at home, if you're in the car, wherever you're watching on your tablet, your computer, your phone. Thank y'all for supporting this. And hopefully we're going to have a great 2026.
Man, it's going to start off with a bang, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a lot going on in the world. We hope to see you guys next week. Remember, the only thing guaranteed in life is death. So, man, worry about the things that you can't control, the things you can't put in God's hands. As long as you do that, man, I think we're fine. Till next week, man, I'm telling y'all, tune in. These stories get wilder and wilder. All right?
Yep.
All right, y'all, we out. Peace, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all week. Until next Tuesday, when we lock in, we out.
Yep.